Hey, I'm so glad you clicked on my video. Today I'm going to show you how I created this mixed media piece. Alright, here we go. First, I selected my large pieces of paper and decided where I wanted them to be. Then I glued them using Mod Podge. I usually use gel matte medium, but I ran out and I bought the Mod Podge because it was a little bit cheaper. Now there's pros and cons to both. The Mod Podge, it's easier to get it even, but it dries faster. And the gel matte medium, you have more time to work with it. However, at the top of the jar where it starts to dry, you just have to be careful not to get that on your paintbrush and get it on your paper because it really messes things up. Now sometimes I put my glue directly on the surface, and other times I will put it on the back of the paper. It just depends. Usually if my paper is thin, I will put it on the surface, because if I'm using something like tissue paper, by the time I get the glue even, the tissue paper has become a little soggy and it will tear easily. Now once you get your first layer down, then you want to let it dry. Okay, I'm sorry about my piece in the microphone. I'm still new at doing these voiceovers like this, getting my voice loud enough without blowing into the microphone. So I apologize. Bear with me. Okay, so right now I am using white acrylic paint to just kind of soften where the pages meet. I don't always do this. It's just something I wanted to try, and I'm using a palette knife. Okay, now I'm adding some cheesecloth that I actually dyed by hand, and I will probably show you how I did that in a video in the future. But I lay it out and see if I need to cut it or tear it. Tearing it gives it a more raw edge, and of course using scissors will give it a more clean cut. So it just depends on what look you're going for. Okay, I'm adding Mod Podge to the surface and laying the cheesecloth on top. Then I add more Mod Podge to the top, just wherever it doesn't seem to be sticking very well. You just have to play around and do whatever it takes to get it to stick to the surface. Okay, what I'm showing you here is glaze. I have added it to acrylic paint. This makes the paint translucent. Here I am adding tissue paper, and this is my favorite tissue paper. I found it at Hobby Lobby, and it has words printed on it very lightly. I think it might be like a newspaper look. I don't even know. I just like the texture. Okay, here I am adding black acrylic paint to water just to make the paint more fluid. Makes it kind of like ink, but it's a little bit more watered down. Now I am adding my last pieces to finish this out. These are pieces that I wanted to feature, if you will. The piece on the bottom right, that is just some handwriting that I found in a book. Someone had donated a book to the thrift store, and I found some college notes that this person wrote, and this was back in the 30s. I think it was 1939. So this notebook paper and the handwriting while the person was in college was from 1939. How cool is that? That's my favorite part about getting old books at thrift stores and yard sales and things, that sometimes you find these really awesome pieces that the person, stuck in there, and it's been in there for decades. Alright, now don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you did not, then just be kind in the comments section, okay?